why do you consider Jesus as a prophet and not a God?
When we look at Jesus, whether in the Quran or when we look at Jesus in the Bible, we ask, what did Jesus preach? Did Jesus say he was a prophet?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
No, he did 100%. He did say he was a prophet. In Mark 6, for example, when he was in his hometown, he said a prophet in his hometown cannot do many miracles except this and that. He was talking about himself as a prophet, that he cannot do many things in his hometown. Nobody says this is God walking. Nobody says this is the manifestation of God. Nobody says this is a part of the Trinity. Nobody says that anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But they call him a prophet, and he himself calls himself a prophet, right?
Yeah.
The Bible mentioned and the Quran mentioned that Jesus was born miraculously. Yes. Does it mention his mother was a righteous woman? Yes. Does it mention that he was the Messiah? Yes. He says that he's the Messiah. When people ask him, this is the claim he makes. And when he was questioned, are you the Messiah? He said yes, right? So that's something he explicitly and clearly said. Second coming as well is mentioned, where he says that he's going to come back, right? So all of these beliefs that we have as Muslims, we see them clearly presented in the biblical scripture, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now we move into a Christian's belief. Because you asked me, why do we believe what we believe? Here, everything we believe, here, everything you asked me what we believe, Jesus said about himself in your own scripture, let alone our scripture, right? So it's not like we believe in anything against what your book says. In fact, what we believing there is exactly what your book says as Muslims. So if this is the case, before I move on, you said wait.
I got a following question. Yeah. So
yes.
All right, I understand everything you're saying, right? But like, if like there's testimonies speaking on how Jesus did miracles, and I'm thinking, in my religion, there's a lot of testimonies in the Bible how like he spit into mud and put it on a guy's eyes, and he was blind. The guy was blind, and he ended up getting vision. You know?
Yes.
And he walked on water and stuff. So
and he raised the dead, and he healed the leper and the sick and the blind. And the list goes on. Yes.
Yeah, so the list goes on, right? But I'm thinking, if Jesus did miracles, how does that not make him a God? You know? If he could walk on water and anything is possible for God and like things of that nature, how does that not make him a God?
Let me add now to what we believe as Muslims. We believe as Muslims that Jesus did many, many, many miracles. We believe he healed the sick and the blind. We believe he raised the dead. We believe he healed the leper, etc. All of these things with the permission of God. We believe he did these things. And in fact, there are miracles mentioned, like him speaking in the cradle, which is in the Quran, is not mentioned in the Bible. There's even more miracles there we believe in as Muslims, more than even what the Bible of today mentions about Jesus. So Jesus is doing miracles. Then you said Jesus is doing miracles, therefore he is God.
Yeah.
So let me use your argument with you.
Okay.
Who split the sea?
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. All right. So
who split the sea?
I know it was Moses. All right.
Who turned the stick into a snake?
Huh?
Who turned the stick into a snake?
Oh, I don't know exactly. Can you remind me?
Moses. The staff or the stack or whatever term you want to use. Yeah, he turned it into a snake, right? This was there's on and on. He did many miracles.
Yeah.
Okay. Who had an ark that the whole planet drowned, and then he had this ark that saved him from drowning?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, can I go on and on with each prophet and give examples of miracles that were only specific to them that they did?
Yeah.
And then use your argument with you. You get a Jewish person coming to you and says, look, you Christian, coming later on, I was here before you. Moses split the sea, and Moses did miracles, therefore Moses is God.
Okay.
He uses your argument with you. Now, what are you going to say?
I'm pretty sure he called out to God for his help, you feel me, to like split the sea. But Jesus, I don't think he has to call out to God because he's God himself and he did it himself. That's what I think. I'm not 100% sure.
Are you sure about that one?
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
Are you sure about that one? Yeah, okay. So let me help you with that one because it's not true. So many miracles were done by prophets where the Bible doesn't mention at all that they called upon God and they did the miracle. Now, of course, it mentions that God reinforces them with miracles, That is mentioned in the Bible for sure. But that is not mentioned necessarily before each miracle the prophet does. Now, when we look at Jesus, did Jesus say he's doing miracles because he's God? Or did Jesus say that what you just said now, word for word, that God is the one doing the miracles? Actually, it's not him. What did Jesus say? And that's why I asked you, have you read the Bible? Because what I know is, like, you go to church, church quotes a selected number of verses for you. They only quote these verses, they don't quote anything else. And I can just tell them all to you right now, and you start getting remembering now all of the ceremonies in the church is when I start telling them to you. But when you read the Bible as a book, not as selected, cherry-picked, preferred verses, you realize that things are a lot more surprising than what people are telling you.